come with me to Japan for the first time.
What's happening? I'm a magnet, feel so attractive. Run your mind how I'm always staying active. Act up, then you get no reaction.
I flew to LA for a couple days and then flew to Japan just to break up the trip, knowing it was going to be a long one. With coming from Florida, I got this beef stew and rice meal that I ordered in advance, and it was pretty good, 7 out of 10, along with like a Japanese lemon drop. Also pretty good. So I finally landed, went ahead and shipped one of my bags to the hotel in advance, went to the money exchange to change out $300, and then linked up with my cousins. Girls trip! So 2 of them was also coming from LA, and then the other one was coming from Chicago, but yet we were all on different flights, so we did meet up at the airport within a few hours of each other, but about the time we all got together, it was nighttime. So then we all caught the train together and walked to our hotel in the business district from the main station. Me and my cousin were staying together. We went on a food mission. Definitely ended up at 7-Eleven. Found this food hall as well, but ended up having to spin the block on 7-Eleven. I ended up getting the stir-fried noodles, which were really good. And now I see why there's so much hype about going to the convenience stores out in Japan. They do warm up food for you, so it's hella convenient and open the latest. My cousin did surprise me with some Garrett's popcorn, so I had that as like a sweet treat. Just some footage of the room, which I really didn't get personally. Grab those photos off Google. The rooms are small in Japan. Like, if you have heard about it, they are very much so like minimalist out there. Breakfast overall was 8 out of 10. That corn soup was a 10 out of 10. Yo, that was bomb. So our first full day in Japan, we basically go hit Tokyo to just explore, peep the scenes, do a little bit of light shopping, just to see what the culture is like. What I will say is you need ample time to explore in Tokyo. It's so huge and there are so many different neighborhoods. You definitely need 3 to 4 days in Tokyo just to explore freely without feeling like you're rushed. Nikki the boss, Nikki the ninja, Nikki the Harajuku Barbie. You know what time it is. You know how to go to Harajuku as a barb. Now, me personally, the whole hype around I don't even know what to call that. That strawberry candy. Definitely try it just so you can have the experience, but it's definitely not as hyped up as as it is on all the videos that you'll see. I don't remember the name of this place. It was right by the station, but I do feel like you can find better gyoza and ramen if you're into that in much better places, so you didn't miss out. Obviously, you see what time it is. We went go-karting in the evening time. Definitely recommend this for anyone traveling just to get a good Tokyo city tour and just to see the city light up at night. Driving in traffic was hella fun. Definitely recommend this activity. Easily one of my top 5 things to do. So at this point, it's still rainy. We stumble across Don Quixote as we're exploring Tokyo at night. And this is going to be your one-stop shop for all souvenirs, all snacks, treats, anything you could think of, skincare, appliances, everything for all your people back home for sure. The next day is our full day Mount Fuji tour. It is still raining, but we make the best of it. We stop along the way to all these different stops with our tour guide who speaks English, explaining everything along to us. We got to see a lot of history, and not going to lie, this was easily an over 20,000 steps a day. So if you're into walking and sightseeing, definitely recommend that you do a Mount Fuji tour. You get to see the pagoda, one of their historical villages along the way, the shrine, and if the weather allows it, you'll actually be able to go onto Mount Fuji, one of the stations there, to have a closer view and hike a little bit. So at this point, we took a nap, and me and my cousin decided we're going out. Of course, I did my research. Of course, I'm turning up. We decided to go to Shibuya and go out to Harlem, and Harlem did not disappoint. Do you hear me? Girl likes to dance and likes to have a good time, and Harlem did not disappoint. Was super sad leaving the club early, like clearly was just about to pop off, but we did have to leave because 2 of my cousins had an early Warner Brothers tour for Harry Potter. Just a note that the subways do stop at midnight and don't start again until 5 a.m. So if you do go out, you have to catch a cab back or basically stay out all night, which they do have that option and places to go. We spent the morning exploring Shinjuku before we basically headed to Osaka. Actually, not that many people right now. Hit up Yoshinoya for dinner in Osaka. It is a chain restaurant in multiple cities. Definitely recommend. Everything overall was 9 out of 10, but that eel though, 10 out of 10 for sure. Again, just showing you the room in a new place in Osaka. This place is actually a sister company to the prior hotel. Even though it was a bigger hotel and a fancier hotel, the breakfast just wasn't hitting as well as the first place. They did have more Japanese options, and it was just, I don't know, not as flavorful. I'm not sure. The most impressive thing was probably the robots that you saw. While two of my cousins went to an Attack on Titans exhibit, we took the day to explore Osaka freely, get some of the local eateries, and do some souvenir shopping. The next day was an early start to Kyoto, taking the bullet train and then a bus. Definitely the most historical city out of the three. We wanted to get an early start for the gates. We didn't do the entire gates. When we got there, it was around 8:30. It was already pretty packed, but I got the main areas that I wanted to see. We spent about an hour or two there with the souvenir shopping afterwards and things like that. But by the time I was leaving, you could just see the crowd growing as they're coming in. We also were finally able to see cherry blossoms in Kyoto, which was a major theme of the time frame of our trip. So definitely was excited about that. Last night in Osaka, we just stayed in, chopped it up with each other, discussed our favorite parts about the trip, especially because we weren't always together the entire time, and discussed our future trips and plans that we have coming up. It was an early morning with having to catch the trains back to Tokyo and then to the airport. I was finally able to try the vending machines, got a hot coffee, and that was really good. I will say that the trains with the bullet trains, city hopping, that was probably the biggest expense outside of the actual hotel. When you're taking the subway, it's pretty cheap for your different trips here and there, but like when you're actually taking the bullet train to go to multiple cities, that is what really you start to see the incurred costs come into play. Nonetheless, to me, it was still worth it. The only thing I would do differently the next time is actually give myself more time out there to soak up and explore each city freely, outside of having a lot of things planned, and also factoring in how much time it takes to actually commute to one city to the next and understanding that whole process now. Well, that was my first trip to Tokyo and my first official vlog. Thanks for watching, and always stay fly. 5D IRL.
Madness, everybody wanna bracket. Attractive, so attractive. Attractive, so attractive.